The foyer of the Kempinski Hotel in Accra was packed as metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives gathered for a two-day national dialogue on decentralization and responsive governance on the theme, Resetting Decentralization for Responsive Local Governance and Effective Service Delivery. The dialogue was aimed at improving the work of MMDCEs at the grassroots. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opukwa-Agyeman highlighted reforms the NDC government has rolled out to deepen decentralization and deliver on its resetting agenda.
Our reset agenda in local governance is comprised but not limited to the following: increasing the local assembly common fund, which everybody agrees, moving towards the election of MMDCEs, supporting assemblies to increase their own source revenues, and leveraging those revenues for private capital and development.
Chairman of the Technical Committee of the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization, Professor Kwame Ahoy, urged government to create a dedicated budget line for MMDCEs within the 95% allocation of the District Assembly's Common Fund. He criticized what he called excessive political interference from central government in the work of the assemblies.
If we want our MPs to have resources to do monitoring or whatever, why don't we create a budget line for them out of the government's 95%? Why do we want to take a portion of that 5% also to give to MPs? The gentleman who raised the issues about the aberrations that occurred in the last government, that is a kind of political interference that we must all condemn. If what he's saying is true, how do you call MPs DCs and ask them to sign contracts that they think are unconscionable? A central government must not do that.
On accountability, the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, outlined measures being introduced to hold MMDCEs responsible for their performance.
The Ministry will soon embark on what we call a social accountability initiative. What project did you inherit? How much of them? What is the situational report? You project everything, and the chiefs will be seated there. The religious leaders will be seated there. So accountability is not going to be on paper, and this thing is going to be legislated against. It will be part of the Act 936, and we call it District Public Interest and Accountability Committee.
Stakeholders are optimistic that these reforms, if fully implemented, will not only strengthen local governance but also ensure that the assemblies truly become engines of development at the grassroots. Mamavi Sefakote's report, read to you.